Sir, mute la irukke.
Audible now?
Yes, sir.
A very good evening to all my participants from Zone 17 as well as outside Zone 17. It's a privilege for me to be giving a program for my own zone and being viewed by so many of my friends outside the zone also. Without much of ado, let us go directly into the program. I will give you an overview of what we are going to do in the next 1 hour. Basically, we are going to talk about what are the thoughts, how does the brain work, what is the mind. We are also going to talk about the empowered mastery success formula, affirmations, and paradigms. Now, I would request you to have a notepad and a paper ready so that you can write down anything which I tell you to write down. Now, my first question is, you can put it in the chat box. What are thoughts? A very simple question. What are thoughts? Please put it in the chat box. Okay, Uma Devi says, what we think is our thoughts. Thoughts is our mind, a dream without sleep, collection of memories, thinking, what we think. Okay, what we think, okay, but what are basically the thoughts? If you put thinking, that is what I'm asking. What is thinking? What are thoughts? Thoughts are ideas. Thoughts are feelings. They are our dreams. Thoughts are things. Okay, they are waves of the mind. Reaction, my mind, things that we think, anything we think, things to achieve. Okay, we will stop with that. Basically, this is exactly what we know about the thoughts. If anybody is asked what are thoughts, this is the answer which anybody, including me, will give. So basically, we will say thoughts are vibrations. Everything we are is a direct result of our thinking. It is possible to change our behavior by changing your thinking process. You can actually rewire your thinking. You can change your life by changing how you think. You are your thoughts. And that, my friends, is exactly what this course is all about. You are your thoughts. Your thoughts are you. And this is what the course is all about. Who is this person? Who is this person? Buddha, correct. Buddha is correct. Now, Buddha has said a famous line, we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Now, we are going to get a little technical for 3 slides, just for 3 slides. This is our brain, and you have so many portions of the brain. Now, the important parts of the brain are these 6. You can just read them. And the other parts of the brain are these 8. Now, we are not going to go very technical. Avlo technical number pomatom. I'm only showing this for a specific purpose. So please bear with me for 2 slides. Now, inside our brain, what do we have? We have 100 billion neurons. 100 billion is equal to 1,000 million neurons inside our small brain. Now, what are these neurons? They are the information messengers. They are the ones which transmit the signals and the impulses from one place to another place. And this transfer of information is being done by 100 billion neurons. In the next slide, I will explain something about synapses, you have 1 quadrillion, that is 1000 million connections in the brain. And with the help of these neurons and the synapses, you have up to 640 trillion signals zipping around your brain every 1 second. Think of it. Every second, you have 640 million seconds going around your brain, inside your brain. Such a small brain. And look at the amount of signals. Now, this is the last technical slide. Neurons have specialized projections called dendrites and axons. The axons take the information away from the cell body. The information from one neuron flows to another neuron across a synapse. The synapse contains a small gap separating the neurons. Now, for any communication to happen, the neurons must send an electrical impulse which travels down an axon to the synaptic terminal. Now we will see this in a video. Is the audio audible? Rohit?
Sir, nahi aa raha, sir. It's not coming.
Okay, we need to activate that.
Sir, on your screen.
Okay, you have a look at the video. It is.
Sir, even your voice is not clear, sir. Amit, sir. Sir. So your voice is not clear, sir. नहीं आ रहा बिल्कुल.
Now what we are seeing here is how the neurons travel across the synapses and get captured by the second neuron, and like that the information progresses. Am I clear now, Rohit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very clear, sir. Very
now,
clear. Very clear, sir. I think during your video play, it was not audible, sir. Now it's clear, sir.
I agree. I agree.
Sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Now, what we saw in the video actually was how the neurons transfer the information from one end to the another through the synapses, through the axons, from one neuron to the other. Now, I have a question. We have understood the technical aspects of our brain. Now, my question is, what is mind? Question number 2 is, what is a mind? Please put on a chat box. What is your mind? We understood what the thoughts are. Now my question is, what is the mind? Mind is process of thinking, conscious storage of mind, a tool of medium for our thinking. It's a collection of ideas, hardware. Okay, Nagi Reddy says it's a hardware. Nageshwaran says it's a control box, thought factory, human CPU. Very good, excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Now, let us draw an analogy. If you compare your mind with a computer, the hardware is the brain. The hardware is the brain. So you have the computer system, you have the motherboard, and then you have the microprocessor, the CPU inside. All this is the brain. Our mind is the software. It can be Windows, it can be your Android phones, your mobile phones, Android. The operating system inside is the mind. It is the mind which takes all the information, it does all the thinking, analyzing, reasoning, calculating, decision making, problem solving, inferring, hypothesizing, etc. That is the job of the mind. The mind does all this using the resources which is available in our brain. What are the resources? The neurons, the axons, the dendrites, the synapses. All these are the resources available for the mind to perform all these functions. All the five senses that we have, the eyes, the seeing, the smelling, the tasting, the touch, all this information goes to the brain and is processed by the mind. Finally, the simple definition of a mind is, it is the operating system that gathers and manages all the information using these resources of the brain. Now I ask again the same question which I asked you in the beginning of this program. What are thoughts? I'm repeating my question. Now we are all more enlightened. We know something about the brain. What is a thought? Please answer in your chat box. What are thoughts? It's a software for human beings. We are the thoughts. Only two answers. Maybe desire, instructions, inputs, flow of signals, special software, processing of information, the processed output, our thinking. Excellent, my friends, excellent. So see, now we have already started changing the way we think. I repeat, we have started changing the way we think. When I first asked you the thoughts, you gave a different definition. Now when I've asked you the thoughts, you're giving me a different definition. Let me now summarize it for you. Thoughts are actually electrochemical reactions. The first slide I said they are vibrations. And now I become more scientific. I say that thoughts are actually electrochemical reaction. Now, a few trainers have already talked about cognition before me, so we will not go into this subject. Cognition is a process by which one acquires knowledge through experience, thought, and sensory input. Now, thinking is the cognitive activity you use to process information, to solve problems, to make decisions, and to create new ideas. Now, my friends, I have a picture here. You have different types of houses. There are 16 types of houses. This is a small activity. I have a question for you. How many homes can humans live in? Out of the 16, and how many homes can humans live in? Your chat box, please. 1. Okay. We have one answer, 1. All. So from 1, we go to all 16. Very good. All. 7. 10. You need to observe the pictures a little more carefully. Zoom it in your mobile and observe it a little more carefully. All. 12. Many. Only 1. Depends on situation. Maybe 6. Okay, there was one M who has given the correct answer. The answer is actually 12. See, if you see, you have a small, you have a birdhouse. You have what is that? A small tray where you can see a rat outside. So those are not the places where human beings can live in. Question number 2. How many homes have flags? எவ்வளோ வீடுக்கு மேல flags இருக்கு? Zoom in and see. Chat box, please. 3. Loganathan says 3. Rohit says 4. Anu 4. Sri Lakshmi 4. 5. 4. Okay, it is varying between 4 and 5. The correct answer is 4. You have 4 houses from which flags are flying. How many homes are not on land? Is my question clear? How many homes are not built on land? Not built. 3. 3 homes not built on land. Very good. So we have 3 homes which are not built on land. Now, during the course, I will be putting forward such small, simple puzzles. It is just to make you realize that when you are thinking, what is actually going on inside your brain? Now, let us understand one thing. Whatever we have studied so far tells us only one thing. When your thoughts are energy, energy can be controlled. You can control your energy. Your thoughts have the power, and you have the power to control that energy. The thoughts that pass through your mind are responsible for everything that happens in your life. Now we have something called the Empowered Mastery Success Formula. What this formula says is, we start with thoughts. Your thoughts lead to feelings and emotions. These feelings and emotions lead to action. And eventually, those actions lead to your results. Now look at this carefully. Look at the simple formula very carefully. On your left, you have the thoughts. And on your right, you have the results. Your thoughts equal to results. Your results equal to thoughts. What your thoughts are, your results shall be so. Clear? This is what this course is all about. Now have a look at this picture. What do you observe in this picture? Your chat box, please. Some sad, one happy. Excellent. Good. They are sailing, enjoying. One is happy. Excellent. See that one person is happy. All the others are distressed. They are tired. They are bored. You can see people even falling over the oars. They have no energy left. They have no stamina left. But yet, amongst all of them, there is one person who is smiling, he is laughing, he is even singing a song. How does that happen? It is all how he is controlling his thoughts. He is able to look at the positives. The others are not able to look at the positives. Now we have, when you were small, you would have learnt in your physics classes something called Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle, which says that every electron, now you remember all these things, electrons, Pauli's exclusion principles, I'm sure you do. Now electrons, what is the quantity of electrons? For example, if you take an apple, inside an apple there'll be at least a few billions of electrons. So imagine how many electrons will be there all over the universe. Every electron has got an energy level, it has a spin, it has an orbit. And with these 3 components, a quantum number is assigned to each electron. There cannot be 2 electrons in the universe with the same quantum number. If at all the quantum number of one electron changes, somewhere in the universe, there will be another electron having that same quantum number that has to change the quantum number. This goes on, the quantum numbers keep changing. What this means is you are sending out vibrations into the universe. When you talk about the positives, when you think about the positives, you are sending out positive energy. Look at this picture, my friends. What does this picture tell you? This became viral in WhatsApp about 1 year back. What does this picture tell you? Chat box, please. Symmetrical space. The kid which is connected, the adults are distance. Excellent. Yes, Ishan, very good. So you find that the adults are sitting depressed, facing away from each other. They have lost interest either in life or with themselves. But the child in them are still connecting. The child is still connecting. You have 60,000 thoughts in a minute. In a minute, it has been calculated that we have 60,000 thoughts. Now, many of these thoughts are negative, are positive, and a very small percentage of those thoughts are negative. We cannot have a day, we cannot have a life where negative thoughts do not come in. We are human beings. We are bound to have negative thoughts. But what happens is, how are we able to control these negative thoughts? Now, this is where all those vibrations come into picture. We attract into life whatever we think about, whatever we believe in most strongly, whatever we expect on the deepest levels and imagine most vividly. Now, as we proceed with this course, what we are going to learn is, how are we going to use this knowledge that thoughts are actually a vibration, thoughts are actually an electrochemical reaction which is happening in the mind. How are we going to utilize those thoughts to make ourselves better human beings and to make ourselves more successful? Now, one negative thought attracts another, and obviously one positive attracts another thought. We have, in the olden days, just like we have the coronavirus now, the invisible enemy of human beings, at that time we used to have plagues, P-L-A-G-U-E-S, plagues. These plagues used to be transmitted with rats. These rats used to go around the city and spread plague to all the people. Now, before the plague of the negative thoughts consumes you, you need to ask yourself, what is good about this? If at all universe is giving you something negative, there is something good about it. Ask yourself, what is good about this? Let's take a simple example. You have a very important meeting scheduled today morning. You have to go early to office. Unfortunately, on that day, you get up late. You rush through with your dressing. You go to your car and you find that your tire is punctured. Happens to you? Happens to everyone. On the day we don't want bad things happen, on that day, invariably, the bad things do happen. It's known as the Murphy's Law. Now, immediately when you see the punctured tire, you are disappointed, you are angry, you start shouting, you somehow change the tire, you go to your office, you are very late, you have missed the meeting, you are rude with everybody in the office, your whole day is a waste. But ask yourself one question. Was there anything good about this? My tire got punctured before I sat inside the car. Supposing I had been driving at 60, 70 speed, and then my tire got punctured, what would have happened to me? Obviously an accident. The car damaged, myself damaged. If I'm alive, lucky. If I'm dead, everything that happens for the good. So lesson number one is, let us always think, what is good about this? Now, what we have been talking so far is the law of attraction. Negative attracts negative. The positive attracts positive. Who is he, my friend? You need not type. There's nobody in the world who does not know this person. Charlie Chaplin was brought up in utmost poverty. His father died when he was 2 years old. And at 9 years, his father died when he was 2 years old. And when he was 9 years old, his mother was admitted to the mental asylum. He faced failures after failures. Later, he became one of the most successful comedians in the movies. He did not allow these negative thoughts to engulf him. He came out of those negative thoughts, thought positively, and rose to the top. Who is this person? Again, don't put in the chat box. It is Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone, like Charlie Chaplin, also came up in utmost poverty. There was a time when he didn't have money for food. There was a time when the electricity of his room was cut off. He didn't have money to pay the electricity bill. He sold his dog for $25 to pay the bill for electricity. At that time, he was writing the script for Rambo. After writing the script, he took it to so many producers, but they all rejected that script. He did not give up. He persevered. Later, his series of Rambo, First Blood, and so many hundreds of his movies became so successful. Who is he, my friends? Now you can put in your chat box. Who is this person? The clue is given on the right-hand side. Mask, yes. What's the name of the Jim? Jim Carrey, excellent. He is Jim Carrey. There is a very interesting story of Jim Carrey. Again, like so many other famous people, he also was poor. He once, in Toronto, there is a comedy club. He once performed in that comedy club. People booed at him, whistled at him, and chased him out of that comedy club. He did not give up. He persevered. He kept giving shows. In Toronto, there is a bridge which overlooks the city. Every night he would go to that bridge. He would look up at the city, and then he would tell himself, I am a successful actor. All my co-actors like to work with me, desire to work with me. I have so many movies in my hands. One day, what he did was, he took out his checkbook and he wrote a check addressed, payable to himself. And the figure that he wrote was $10 million. He said, this is the check I'm going to receive for the first film that I do. He carried the check in his pocket every day. Every day he would look at it and he would repeat the words, I'm going to get the movie and this is going to be the check I received for the first movie. We know very well how successful he became. His Mask movie was one of the super duper hits of Hollywood, and today his commanding price is more than $20 million. Friends, what I'm trying to tell you here is, we need to come out of our negative beliefs. We have the power to choose our thoughts. Let us choose only the positive thoughts. Let us discard the negative thoughts. Thoughts are not some figment of imagination. They are electrochemical process. That is the reason I showed you those three slides at the beginning, to make you understand that thoughts are merely an electrochemical process. And when thoughts are energy, all that energy can be manipulated. The electrothermal process, electrochemical process can be altered. We all know that our body radiates an aura, A-U-R-A, aura. This has been scientifically proved. When you think negative, your body will radiate negative energy. And when you think positive, your body will radiate a positive, when it is negative, your body radiates a negative energy. When it is positive, your body will radiate a positive energy. And when you go around with this aura around you, your positive energy, your positive aura will attract the positives in others. On that day, when you're feeling so positive, you will find that everybody smiles at you. Even those people who don't know you smile at you. Why? Because you are radiating a very powerful positive energy. Have a look at this map. Now you are going to start at the bottom left. You have the number 42. Can you see that number 42 at the bottom left? Now you are there, and your destination is on the opposite corner, diagonally opposite corner, where it is written ZOG. Now you have many hindrance hurdles between. You have tigers, you have traps. Your work is, you have to find a path which will take you from OG to ZOG. Try to find a path. This cannot be put on a chat. Think in your mind, and then I will tell you the answer. Think for 1 minute, and I will tell you. Okay, I'll tell you the answer and you see whether you got it correct. You start from that OG, you go straight to the castle. Can you see the castle? You go straight to the castle. You have your food there. You take a little rest. And from there, you go to the lake. You have a bath there. You wash yourself, freshen up, and then you proceed to the oasis. At the oasis, you again relax, eat the fruits which are available at the oasis. And there you find that you have a bite stand. You take a bite from there and you go outside. Is your mind thinking? Is your mind thinking? Your mind is doing so much of analysis. Your mind is doing so much of comparisons. Your mind is also doing remembering. If I go this way, I have a tiger there. So I should not go on that path. Let me select another path. Now let us come to how do we control this mind process? One way is affirmations. Do you know what affirmations are? Please put it in your chat box. If possible, write the Tamil name for affirmations, those who know it. It will help me. I want the Tamil name of affirmation. Positive words, very good. In Tamil, please. Okay. Okay, we have two different words coming in. Right. I found this word in Google. I don't know whether it is correct or not. But anyhow, what I see from the chat box is you have understood what affirmations are. Affirmations basically mean positive phrases that we repeat to ourselves over and over again. This is exactly what Jim Carrey was doing. He was repeating those phrases from Toronto, from the bridge. He kept saying, I am a good actor. The other actors desire to work with me. I have so many job offers in my hand. He kept repeating those affirmations over and over again. And from a poor person, he now commands $20 million per movie. A man on a horse. He's been severely hurt, but yet he does not give up his spirit. He keeps repeating, this is not a disaster, it's a learning experience. Keep repeating yourself the good things that can happen to you. I am loved and I'm lovable. I am healthy. Now, please remember, there is one rule of affirmations. You should not say, I wish I am loved. Don't say, I wish I am loved. It means that it becomes negative. Say that I am loved. I am a lovable person. When you keep repeating these affirmations, first of all, you start radiating positive energy. The second thing which happens is, look at this photo. Now, when you have grass, when you have dry land, not the tar road, when you keep walking on these grass roads, you have a path slowly forming because the earth becomes hard and there the grass doesn't grow. Now, what happens in our mind right from childhood is these pathways have been created. The neurons move in a certain path and that path gets very hard and the neurons prefer to go only on that pathway. By doing these affirmations, what exactly we have to do is, we have to erase those negative pathways. Don't walk on those negative pathways. Say the positive words, affirmations over and over again, so that in the middle of the grass, a new pathway is created. That pathway is the success pathway. That pathway will lead you to success. Clear? You are now going to create new pathways in your mind. Now, this is why I showed you those first 3 slides, to make you understand how the brain operates, how the brain works. When we now know the deeper understanding of the brain, we are now able to understand that it is possible for us to create pathways in our mind which carry our future success stories. Now let us see some examples of the affirmations which we can do. I'm only giving examples. You have to create your own affirmations. I am worthy of love, happiness, and fulfillment. I have the power within me to create the life which I desire. I am so grateful for my life and all its blessings. I love and accept myself just the way I am. I am this. I cannot try to be Sylvester Stallone. I cannot try to be somebody else. I am Amit. Let me accept myself and be the best which I can be. My life is filled with meaning, purpose, and passion. I have the courage and tenacity to overcome any challenge I face. You asked me to do a webinar. It is a challenge. But can't I do it? I can do it. If I suffer from an inferiority complex, I am not a good trainer. The other trainers have done much better than me. I will come out as a flop. I will be a disaster. If I say those words, I am setting myself up to fail. I am definitely going to fail. What I need to do is, I am going to say that I am going to perform well. I'll do well, and everybody will appreciate. It's only then my positivity will make this program better. I have confidence in my talents, my strengths, my gifts, and my abilities. I have certain abilities, yes. May not be as much as others, but I do have abilities. Why not I use those abilities and those strengths to the maximum possible? I am in love with myself and my body. Doesn't matter if you have a big pouch. Doesn't matter. Love yourself. If you feel inferior because of your pouch or your fat body, nothing is going to work. I have a body. Let me feel happy about my body. Let me say I'm healthy. I'm proud of myself. I believe in myself and my abilities. This is the crux. This is the crux. If you want to see it happen, you first need to feel it happen. When we feel good, when we feel better, your positive energy goes into the universe, and the universe will send back to you the positive vibes, the positive vibrations which enter inside you and which will make you successful. You have now 4 knots here. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to pull the ends apart. You have 2 ends in each of the knots. Pull the ends apart. When you pull it apart, 2 of these knots will become a knot, and 2 of these will simply open into a straight string. Tell me, starting from the left, we'll number it as 1, 2, 3, and 4. Starting from the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which knots will become a knot when you stretch it? One and 2, 4, 3, 4 open, 1 open. Excellent, excellent. We have a lot of minds working. This requires a lot of vision. You have to slowly stretch the rope. You have to visualize what is going to happen to the rope when it opens. So some say 2 and 3, some say 1 and 4, 1 and 3. Okay, excellent, very good. It doesn't matter if your answer is correct or wrong. What matters is you have been able to visualize. That is what is important. The answer is 1 and 2 will form the knots. 1 and 2. From the left, the first 2 will form the knots. Good. Now, we have one inventor. He's invented one sort of machine. Now, we don't know what machine exactly it is. It consists of many gear wheels. Now, he is a little puzzled. What he wants to know is, when the upper gear wheel is rotated in the clockwise direction, in which direction will the bottom wheel, in which direction will it rotate? A little difficult? The engineering student, mechanical engineering students will find it very easy. So Arun Kumar says clockwise. Our ZP says clockwise. Ishan says it will get stuck. Raja says anti-clockwise. Ramesh says opposite. Bhuvna says anti-clockwise, same direction. Excellent, excellent. We have one correct answer, but the correct answer is the bottom wheel will not rotate. Below the top wheel, you have 3 wheels forming a triangle. You have 3 wheels forming a triangle. This is a locking system. These 3 wheels will not allow each wheel to rotate. They will interlock. They will lock themselves. As a result of that, the last wheel will not rotate. Excellent. Very good. In this picture, there are 26, I repeat, 26 faults. Something is wrong. 26 faults are there. Find just 3 faults. Quickly. I'm not reading loudly. Okay, I've got more than 3 correct answers. The windows, the tiger has got horns, leaning tower of Pisa is straight. That the rest is wrong. The car has got Veena keys. Excellent, very good. So we have more than 3 correct answers. That has got 26 faults. Now we come to point number 2. How do we control our thoughts? Anybody knows what are paradigms? What are paradigms? A very simple definition. Paradigms. Anybody? I don't see a single response in the chat box. Shall I say, what are paradigms? Very simple. Paradigm is a set of beliefs. Very simple. The beliefs that you have.
Sir, sorry for the interrupt. Mic mute ஆயிடுச்சுங்க sir.
Rohit, am I audible? I got disconnected.
Yes, sir. Yes, audible, sir.
My screen has come back?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. So a paradigm is a set of belief. That is it. A very simple definition. A paradigm is a set of beliefs and values, and that defines the way a person views his or her reality. A paradigm is a way of looking at something, or it's a way of thinking about the real world. Read it, and then I will explain more in detail. Now, basically, as I said, paradigms is a set of beliefs in our mind. And it is these paradigms which actually control you. You can see the man being controlled by the fingers. The entire human being, we all are being controlled by our paradigm. And these paradigms control where or how we live, who we vote for, how we bring up our children, what books we read, and our behavior, habits, and our rituals. Now, there is a very famous story of the elephant. When the elephant is small, the baby elephant is tied to a small rod with a thin chain. Now this baby elephant is very, very frisky and it tries to escape. It tries very hard. It kicks, it jumps, it leaps, it does everything possible to escape, but it cannot escape. As days pass, the elephant, the baby elephant realizes that it is not possible to escape and it stops trying. It grows up, becomes a jumbo elephant. That jumbo elephant is still tied with that same chain to that small peg, that small wooden peg. All it needs is a small movement from the leg to break the chain or the stick. But the elephant does not try. It is conditioned in the mind. It is conditioned in the mind that it cannot escape. It doesn't even try to escape. This is what happens to all of us. Our mind gets conditioned to certain beliefs and values and thoughts. And we are not able to escape from beliefs and thoughts because we don't know that we are being tied down with those thoughts. We are shackled with those thoughts and we are not able to break the shackles. Now we have something called the paralyzing paradigms. This is what I talked about, the chain tying us, binding us together. These are the paralyzing paradigms or the limiting beliefs. Then we have the power paradigms, and finally we have the paradigm shift. Now what is the paralyzing paradigms? These are the beliefs which have been imprinted in our mind right from our childhood. It could be that your parents kept telling you that you are a duffer. You are a useless, good for nothing fellow. Your teachers told you the same thing. But after hearing all this, it gets so entrenched in your mind, that pathway, we saw the pathway in the grass, that pathway forms in our mind. We keep telling ourselves we are good for nothing. We don't try to achieve anything. When we go for our exams, we don't study. We feel we are duffers. We don't study. We are not realizing that all this is a paralyzing paradigm from which we can actually escape. A very famous saying by Henry Ford, whether you think or you can't, whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. It is up to you. It is up to you to decide whether you can or you can't. If you feel you cannot, it's because of your paralyzing paradigms. And if you feel that you can, it is because of your power paradigms. We are going to come to that in the next slide. Now, let us see some of the things which gets entrenched in our mind. Right from our childhood, our parents may tell us something about one relative, that relative, that uncle, that auntie is a very bad person. He's a fraud. He commits crimes. Even after 20 years, if we meet that person, it will always be there in our mind when we see that person, that this person is not a good person. No matter what that person does, we will always have a suspicion in our mind for that person. Your neighbor is a cheat. You have something called a placebo effect. Heard of placebo? Something very famous. A doctor gives you pills. He may give you a paracetamol. You go to him, you consult him. He says, he examines you with a stethoscope and he says, don't worry, Amit, you are absolutely all right. Just take these pills and you will be all right. Yes, Raji says it is make-believe. It is psychological uplifting medicines. Exactly. Believe me, once a doctor says that nothing is wrong with you, you are perfectly all right. Within 2 days, you'll be all right. Even if you don't take a medicine, when you come outside, you will feel 50% better. Even if he gives you just sugar pills, after taking those sugar pills, you will feel much better. That is known as a placebo effect. You have so many superstitions. Don't cut hair on Friday or Saturday. Hanging lemon and green and 7 green chilies. We find almost all the shops doing this on Fridays. Black cat crossing your path. Breaking mirror brings bad luck. Calling someone from the back when he's going outside, or when you're going for a good work, your mother gives you curd. All these superstitions actually have a very scientific basis. But if we tell it to our children as a scientific fact, the children will not listen. So they make it bad. If you sit under people trees, demons will come and attack you. What they're actually trying to say is all trees give out carbon dioxide in the night. So don't sit under a tree. You will be inhaling more of carbon dioxide and less of oxygen. So instead of saying it in a scientific way, they make it a superstition. They say that ghosts will attack you. How many of us, I think everybody will have a lucky shirt, a lucky pen, something which is lucky. If you have to go to an exam, you will go only to one particular temple. The God is the same, that idol is the same in all the temples, but you go only to one particular temple because you feel that temple gives me energy, and with that energy, I will pass. It's a belief system. Numerology, another belief system. I won't go into whether it's good or bad. We will leave that thing aside. There is one friend of mine, Archana. See how she has spelled her name now after going to a numerologist. Now, what is important here is let us not go into good, bad, right, wrong, nothing. What is important is changing her name like this gives her a belief that once my name is like this, I will be successful. She is now recreating a path in her mind. Her path, her belief system is telling her now that with my name like this, I am going to be successful. She is going to emit positive vibrations. The aura around her is going to be positive. Her entire approach to life is now positive. Why? Because she has changed the spellings of her letter. Now, what are the power paradigms? The power paradigms are your empowering beliefs, which condition your mind for success. We saw these examples even earlier. For example, Jim Carrey. Now, have a look at this photo. One of the most famous and popular illusions. I'm sure you would have seen this. So I won't ask you, what do you see? I know you can see the old lady, you can see the young lady. My question is different. My question is, I want you to see the old lady. Please understand my question. I want you to see the old lady. Saw it? Okay. Now, I want you to see the young lady. Saw it? Okay. I'm sure out of all the 182 participants, most of you would have been able to see both the old and the young lady. My question is, when I asked you to shift from the old lady to the young lady, did it require a little bit of strain on your mind? Did it require a little bit of concentration in your mind? Answer has to be yes. You had to focus. You had to shift from the old woman to the young woman. Have a look at this. Again, here we have the two images. I want you to see the two girls. See only the two girls. Okay. Now I want you to see the flower vase. You're able to see it? Once again, you had to concentrate. You had to focus. It was only then that the two ladies went aside and the vase became visible to you. Now, is this man looking on the front or on the side? Depends on how you look at it. It is both. Now, I want you to look at him so that he is looking at your right. He should be looking at your right. Now, make him look towards you. Make this man look towards you. Able to do it?
सर आपका वॉइस नहीं आ रहा सर. Sir, you have to unmute. 1 second.
Yes. Audible now?
It's clear.
Sorry, yes, sorry, it got disconnected. So coming back to this, it took us a little amount of focus to be able to see the two images. Now this is somewhat similar to what is a paradigm shift. It is a change from one way of thinking to another. You have to change your thinking from one way to another. I am a disaster. I am a loser. That is your original way of thinking. You now have to realize that why do you think you are a loser? What made you think you are a loser? Who told you you are a loser? Somebody obviously told you, or you may have had some life experiences. You may have attempted something and you failed in that. That gives you a feeling that you are a loser. No. All the famous people in the world were losers at one time. Anyone. But they all persevered. They overcame those negative thoughts. They reconditioned their mind. They reconditioned their pathways. Reprogrammed themselves. They told themselves that I am not a loser. I am a successful person. And from then on, they started radiating positive energy. And success came to them. Paradigm shift. It's adopting a new way of thinking, or a new way of doing things, or a new behavior. Now you look at this plant, a very small plant, but look at the roots deep into the ground. This is a tree which can never be uprooted by any hail or storm. You try to pull it also, it will break at the stem, but it will not come up from the roots. These are your beliefs. Your beliefs are so deep in your mind that it is very difficult to remove those beliefs. Even if you keep affirming, even if you keep telling your affirmation, I am successful, I will be successful, I am the best, I have all the abilities, I am the best public speaker. You say all this, but somewhere in your mind, a small voice will be coming, Amit, you are not telling the truth because your roots are so deep. Now, till now, I've not gone into the subject of subconscious. I don't want to go into the subject of subconscious because that is a very big subject. But all these roots are actually there in your subconscious. You need to take out these roots from the subconscious, uproot that plant and put a new plant inside. The new plant is your success story. You need to change your thought process, which will change your paradigm and which will give new positive results. For the paradigm shift to happen, you first have to understand what are your paralyzing paradigms, what are your power paradigms. Once that happens, you have a self-realization. You will come to 4 quadrants where I know that I know, I don't know that I know that I don't know, and I don't know that I don't know. You are sitting in quadrant number 4. You are sitting in quadrant number 4, and your duty is to come from quadrant number 4 to quadrant number 2, where you have realization that I know that there is so much that I don't know. Once that realization happens, you will slowly go towards success. Now let us see the 6 steps to a paradigm shift. One is you need to improve your self-image. You need to stop the sabotaging self-talk. You need to take control of your thoughts. You have to believe in yourself. Keep your affirmation going on. All the positive affirmation should continue regularly and remain focused on the positive. Now let us recall what we have gone through so far. We first started off with what are the thoughts, then we came to what is the mind, Then we came to the empowered mastery success formula. Then we came to the law of attraction. Then we talked about the affirmations. And finally, we had the paradigms. With that, I come to the end of this course. If you have any questions, you can ask in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I have thanks coming. I would like to have questions. Anything you would like to? Are affirmations and self-talk the same? Affirmations are repeating a single phrase over and over again. Self-talk is a talk which is going on in the mind. If I do this, what will happen? It's a discussion in your mind. Affirmation is repeating your positives over and over again, every day, day after day. So can you tell me the last six steps? 1 minute.
Sorry,
the last six steps. You want me to go back? You want me to go back? Okay. Improve your self-image. Stop the sabotaging self-talk. Take control of your thoughts. Believe in yourself. Affirm your positive thoughts. Remain focused on the positive. It's okay? Have I answered the question? Okay, there are many books on this. You can first of all take books on affirmation. You can read The Power of the Subconscious Mind, which has got a lot of this content. Any other questions? Can we change the belief system of another person? You can change the belief system of another person by first of all making him realize. See, realization is the route to change. You have to make him realize that if he thinks he's a failure, there is no basis for it. He thinks he's a failure because of past experiences or because people in the childhood told him about it. Make him realize his abilities. Make him realize that he can do great things. Logamoti, I will tell you the 6 steps later. I've already shown it once. How we keep mind fresh? By not having negative thoughts. The moment you get negative thoughts, immediately react. See, now prior to this, what was happening is when we got negative thoughts, we were allowing the plague, the rats, to run inside our mind so that one negative thought becomes 10, 100, 1,000 negative thoughts. We need to stop that one negative thought immediately and say, why am I thinking negative? Let me not think negative. There is so much more positive happening. Let me convert this negative into a positive. What is good in this? I will show you the summary. Okay. Yes, The Secret. I forgot that book. The book called The Secret. That is another beautiful book which talks about the law of attraction. All this aura, the law of attractions, the vibrations which go into the universe. All that is there in The Secret. A beautiful book. Why some thoughts are not resulting in results? It all depends whether you believe in your thoughts. If you just say, not from your heart, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be successful. And the next minute you think, I keep saying this, but I'm not becoming successful. You are allowing your negative thoughts to overcome the positive thoughts. You need to believe in those positive thoughts. Say it with assertiveness. I am going to be positive. I will be positive. Keep saying that and don't allow anything negative to sabotage that positive thought. How to get rid of negative thoughts? I just now answered. How to change your mind? That is what I've been explaining by affirmations and by understanding, by self-realization, by our paradigm shift. Suggest some books I just now suggested. The Power of the Subconscious Mind, The Secret, plus There are so many other books on. You just go to Google and put self-belief. You type power of thoughts. You will get such a list of books. See, I have not taken much from the books. I have taken a few things from books. I have referred to some articles. I have referred to my own things. So it's a mix of so many things. I will show you the summary. Please wait. How to take negative thoughts to positive. Realize, first of all, realization, the self-realization that I am having negative thoughts. Once you have the realization, you analyze, why am I getting those negative thoughts? What is the root cause of those negative thoughts? Why those negative thoughts form pathways in my head, in my brain? Why did those come? Now you replace those old pathways with new pathways. I'm showing you the summary. Suggest some books. How to get concentration. Concentration is another subject, my friend. Okay, I think I've answered most of the questions. The other questions which are coming in are a different variation of the questions which were asked earlier. And now with this, I hand over the floor back to the Zone President, Zone 17, JC Madhivanan.
Thank you very much, sir. Such an amazing, wonderful session. I request our District Coordinator Salem, JC Sabarinathan, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ZP. It's my great privilege in proposing vote of thanks for this wonderful training. First of all, I have to thank the trainer of this extraordinary session, JC Senator Amit sir, for your thought-provoking speech, and your all your thoughts has been came in a positive way. That means a lot for us. The feedback of the session, it's almost completely fed up with all the participants' feedback in the chat box itself. Thanks a lot on behalf of our Zone Governing Board and the Zone 17, sir. It's a great, thought-provoking and positive session. Thank you very much for your lovely time. And my special thanks to our Zone President, JC Senator Madhivanan, sir, for this wonderful arrangements during this lockdown period. Thanks a lot, ZP. I hope you are 24/7 working for the organization. And I also wish that the 25th hour also you are going to work for the organization. Thanks a lot, ZP. And my special thanks to our past National President, JC Senator PPP Balavailadam, sir, for your wonderful guidance for our zone. During this lockdown period also, we are hoping that we are doing some wonderful programs in such a kind of way. Thanks a lot, sir. And I extend my sincere thanks to Program Coordinator, ZVP, JC Senator Rohit Kumar Lota, for your technical support, and Zone Director Training, JC HCF Saravana Kumar, sir, and all the Zone Governing Board members and presidents of all the LAMs and participants of this today's session. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, Sabri. Sir, இன்னைக்கு நமக்கு வந்துட்டு இனாகரேட் பண்ணதுலேருந்து vote of thanks and உங்களோட introduction படிச்ச எல்லாருமே உங்களால் இன்ஸ்பயர் செய்யப்பட்ட நம்மளுடைய மெம்பர்ஸ். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார். உங்களுடைய ஒண்டர்ஃபுல் செஷன் ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்துச்சு. நம்ம இப்போ இருக்கிற என்ன எனர்ஜி எப்படி வந்துட்டு நம்ம பாசிட்டிவா மாற்றி இன்னும் எப்படி பாசிட்டிவா ஆயிக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது நாங்கள் வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார். ஒன்ஸ் அகேன் நாளை மாலை 6 மணிக்கு திரும்பவும் இதே நேரத்தில் நம்ம அனைவரும் சந்திப்போம். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச்.
தேங்க்யூ.
ZP sir, thank you very much for the opportunity. Zone Director Sharvana, ZVP JC Rohit, the entire ZGB 17, past National President JC Balavailadam, and all the participants. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed my session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yes.